And US President Donald Trump pushes for Russia-Ukraine peace. Trump dials Russian President Putin, had a 2-hour call with him, and Donald Trump says that Russia-Ukraine to start truce talks. So that's the update that is coming in as far as the Russia-Ukraine peace talks are concerned. Donald Trump has pushed for the peace talks. In fact, Donald Trump dialed Russian President Vladimir Putin. He had a 2-hour call with Putin, and after which Donald Trump said that Russia-Ukraine will start the truce talks. And my colleague Pranay Upadhyay is now joining us with more details on the conversation between Donald Trump and Russian President Putin, after which Donald Trump claimed that Russia and Ukraine will start their truce talks. Pranay, over to you.
Yes, Anjali. It's been over 2 hours and a 5-minute long phone call between President Donald Trump and President of Russian Federation Vladimir Putin. And it was, in fact, a long-awaited phone call between the two leaders as far as the Russia-Ukraine war is concerned, as far as the ceasefire negotiations are concerned. You would recall that recently both Russian and Ukrainian representations had a meeting in Turkey, but it was all expected that this leadership call between Russian Federation and the United States will lead to a further headway. And what has been shared by the Russian side, you have seen the statement put out by the US President Donald Trump. And on the Russian side, the special representative of the Russian President Vladimir Putin has shared, Mr. Ushakov, that there is no time frame which has been decided for the ceasefire negotiations are concerned. However, both leaders had a very good call. In fact, they both addressed each other with their first name. So it's expected that the Russian side and the Ukrainian side will work out a mechanism. However, after this call, the US President also informed the various European leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron, Italian President Giorgia Meloni, and also he had informed the Pope, the new Pope. And in fact, the Pope also offered that he would be more than willing to host a negotiation if the required may be so. So this is an interesting development, and it's been over 3.5 years of this Russia-Ukraine conflict. The world is waiting for the conclusion. But what are the terms of that conclusion? What are the terms of the ceasefire? Because there have been initial talks about the ceasefire. The Russian side offered that they are willing to negotiate with the Russian side, and thereafter their meeting took place in Turkey. So the basic contours of this negotiation process are yet to come out, but this is definitely a big development. And the Russian president and the US president are also expected to meet somewhere soon. However, the date and time and place for that meeting are not being disclosed as yet.
Right. Also, Pranay, Donald Trump has made this statement that Russia-Ukraine will be holding truce talks. But is there any official statement from Russian side or the Ukrainian side on this?
The Russian side did share a statement as far as, if you can quote the Russian news agency TASS. They shared a statement by Yuri Ushakov, who is a special advisor to Russian president, and he did mention about things of this negotiation, which mentions about the phone call, what did they discuss, and also that there is no time frame which has been decided for this ceasefire, for the conclusion of this ceasefire negotiation. So this ceasefire may take some time, and as you would see, the statement put out by the social media post by Russian president, by the US president, he also mentioned that this is for the two parties to decide because they know the best how to negotiate this thing. However, his job was to initiate the process. You know that he had a meeting with the Ukrainian president, which did not go well in Oval Office, but the subsequent meeting of him with the Ukrainian president Volodymyr Zelensky did made a headway, and after that, the Russian side also engaged with the US side, and they had a meeting in Saudi Arabia. Both the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Sergei Lavrov of the Russian Federation.